today I'm joined by Debbie Anderson. She's going to tell us all about herself, and we're going to learn lots and find ways to help each other as a result of today's conversation. So welcome, Debbie. How are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you.
Good. So let's start by you telling us a bit about you, your journey, what you do, and how you got where you are today.
Okay, so just a very quick one. I'm self-employed and have been self-employed for just around about a year and a half now. Okay. And funnily enough, I joined the Happenista project at the time that I just became self-employed. So I've been on my journey with the Happenistas. Before that, I worked in a large Fortune 500 corporation for 23 years.
Wow.
I know, totally institutionalized. And I'd had a varied career, but I'd spent around about 17 years in human resources and doing a number of different human resources roles, ranging from setting up the HR contact center across Europe through to recruitment, through to then eventually moving into training and leadership development. And I've done some management roles during that time as well. Wow. And I left in July 2016 because there were a number of reasons, but one of them from a personal perspective was because I thought, if I don't leave now, I never will.
Yeah.
And I never will find out what there is out there. So I've had a sort of varied career in the corporate world, and now I'm exploring self-employment and discovering what it's like to be outside.
Yes.
And being self-employed.
Well, you're looking really well. You don't look like someone who could have worked 23 years anyway. So what I'm trying to think about is this the self-employment glow, or did you always look this gorgeous, or what is it? So, if you're an advert, become self-employed and you too. I think everyone will be doing it. Oh, you look great.
Oh, thank you.
So I know that when we did speak a year and a half ago, and we've spoken of times since then, but I'm particularly interested in supporting women through leadership. It seems to be a real passion of yours.
Yeah.
So that's something you've been able to pursue in self-employment, and if it is, why do you care so much about women, supporting women on their leadership journeys?
I think for me, it's part. I think the main driver actually is actually being personal, actually. Because if I think about my own journey and how long it's taken me to get to where I am today, I would love for women, it doesn't actually have to be women, but I am passionate about women as well, because I think we struggle more, I think, than men do with self-doubt and inner voices and confidence and things like that. And I just think to myself, if I'd had some opportunity to have some self-development and maybe some learning earlier on in my career, maybe even my 20s, even into my 30s, then I actually think to myself, where would I actually be today if I'd had those opportunities for development and self-reflection earlier? Because I kind of got to where I am today through trial and error.
Yes.
And having to overcome my own sort of inner demons or my own crows, my own little inner voice. And it's only really in the last 6 or 7 years that I've actually really started to understand who I am and what I'm capable of. And actually, wouldn't that be nice if we could actually all have that a little bit earlier on? And that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Wow, that's amazing.
That opportunity, yeah.
And a real legacy you'll leave if you've been able to help people, struggle and not muddle through themselves. And also very noble, because some people would say, well, I muddled through, why shouldn't everyone else? But no, you're trying to make it better for them.
Yeah, I do. And, and I see so much potential in people out there. And their potential is not being reached because of the stories that they tell themselves. And the beliefs that they have about themselves, which could come from childhood experiences and life experiences. And if we can break down some of those barriers and some of those challenges that people have, then wow, I mean, it unleashes so much potential in people.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm passionate about.
Great. And women in leadership sort of programs that you've run, it's people in organizations so far. That's the sort of your audience.
Yeah. So I actually started off my journey when I was working for the corporation that I was working for, and I was invited to be part of the sort of the lead facilitation team for it. It was an award-winning program called Building Relationships and Influence, and it was for women who were executive potential women who were on the cusp, if you like, on the cusp of taking that next step and weren't quite getting there.
Yes.
Weren't quite getting there. So I became a part of the team that delivered that. And it's funny enough, I know we're going to talk a little bit about, and the course is called Building Relationships and Influence. And it was for those ladies who were at executive potential level, who hadn't quite made that transition, were at that cusp of actually taking that step into a much more senior position within the company, but weren't quite there for whatever reason it might be. And so the course itself was around about helping women to understand what it was that was stopping them. So it was those opportunities to deliver that course and to work within a team of inspirational ladies as well, and meeting amazingly inspirational women who were just brilliant at what they did, but they just had so much self-doubt. And that was actually what started my journey for leading.
Yes.
And also realising the potential that I had in myself as well. So that, when we talk in terms of gifts, and I think we're going to mention that a little bit later, the biggest gift that I had was actually being able to deliver that training course and learn so much from it and from the ladies that I was actually training.
Fabulous, fabulous.
And that's what started me on my journey of self-employment.
Yeah, really, really great. And it's funny, isn't it? Sometimes you think you're giving something to other people, but you get as much back yourself.
I learned so much from it. I really did. Yeah.
Now, a little buddy tells me you have a time management course, an online time management course. We'd love to know one of your best time management tips.
Okay. So for me, time management, I think and it's one of the simplest things, which I think we all struggle with, is it's about learning what you have within your control. And funnily enough, time management, even though we may not realize it, and how we manage our time and how we prioritize things, is absolutely within our control. And I think people forget that.
Yes.
And so, I would always say to people is that if they are really struggling with their time, I'd ask them to question, what is it about their time management that they're struggling with? And I'd actually then say to them, what as part of that, what is it that is within your control and outside of your control? And there'll be some things that are outside of their control because they'll be worrying about massive things that they can't do anything about. But there'll be other things that are actually within their control. And the thing that's within their control for time management is how they respond, how they react, and how they behave to the things that happen around them. And just getting what time you get up in the morning is within your control. How you choose to spend your time each day is within your control. What you focus on and prioritize is absolutely within your control. And it's just getting people to shift their mindset a little bit around that.
Moving from a very powerless place.
But it's very easy to talk about, much harder to do.
Yes, like so many things. Thank you for that. I think that's a good thought and something to reflect on. How much of your life, are you in control of, and how much are you thinking, oh no, I'm a victim of it all?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, the thing about the Happenista project is there are amazing people on the Happenista project, and people with amazing skills and qualities and attributes. And there are things in our network that we need. So I'd love you to share with us, whether it's a person, is there someone who you'd like to add to your network? Perhaps you want to meet Donald Trump. There's 6 degrees of separation. Someone in our group must be contacted with you in some way. Yeah, it was an odd request. But also it might be a skill or a quality. You might have a gap in your knowledge or a gap in your skills or something that you don't like doing that you think, well, if I knew someone who was really good at that could be really helpful. So what would you add into your network?
Okay, so mine is actually more around a skill, and networking with people who have a particular skill, which I recognise is not a strength of mine. And it comes from being self-employed. I have a good network, and I know a lot of people who I could utilise in terms of my building my business, if you like. My area of weakness is that I'm not a self-promoter.
Right. Okay. Yes.
So which sounds nuts, because I'm a I train people, I facilitate courses, I work with mentoring and coaching. But for me, I don't see that about me. I actually see that about other people, right? But when it comes to me saying, "Hey, everybody, look at this amazing thing that I do," it's horrible, and it's. I should really be taking some of the medicine that I actually dish out. I'm doing some of my training courses, but it's sometimes, like I said, it's easier said than done. So for me, I would love to be able to network more with people who are brilliant at marketing and in many respects, self-promotion and sales, so that I can learn from them about ways to actually be able to promote what I do.
Yes.
With confidence and skill.
Lovely. That's
for me. That's what I.
Someone who's good at it generally, so it just comes naturally to them and they do it, almost like a shadowing experience.
Yeah.
Looking for an expert marketer or PR person to help you do it.
I don't think I'm quite yet at the stage where I'd look for an expert, but I'm definitely looking for somebody who finds it easy, is natural to them, so I can actually, like you say, shadow with them, maybe learn some key hints and tips about basically getting over myself.
Yes, yeah. Well, immediately I'm thinking of Lily, who has her book Work Your Quirks.
Yes, I have spoken to Lily before, actually. Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's also more within the group.
Yeah. Well, no, that's good, because I actually spoke to Lily when she first joined the Happenista project, and we had one chat, and I haven't followed it up with her since. So that's something that I should be doing.
Yes, yeah. So that's a good start. Yeah. So I asked you about your best gifts that you've ever received. You've kind of answered me, but was there any more you wanted to say on that point?
I think also the gifts of relationships in terms of your network. I think people don't really understand the value of network and how important it can be, either from a personal or professional perspective.
Yes.
And it's the gifts of friendship, it's the gifts of trust that comes from that, and it's also the gifts of giving. And you don't realise how much people are willing to give of themselves to you in order to help you. And likewise, I like to do the same. And I think that for me is another one as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Lovely way to end our conversation. Thank you for being such an awesome Happenista. Please let us know how we can find out more about you, how we can get in touch if we're looking for women or leadership programs generally, if we want to have some time management tips, or if we're someone who's got great marketing and PR skills and we want to impart them to you. How can we get in touch?
Okay, so you can get in touch with me a number of ways. So the time management course that I have is on Udemy, and you can look the course up by either typing my name into the search engine or just typing in Tyranny of Time, which is part of the course title. But if you're actually interested in it, you can also contact me, because I can actually offer anybody who's interested a discount rate to it as well. So there's that. And you can contact me on my email address, which is Debbie at enableexcellence.co.uk, and I also have a website which is Enable Excellence as well, so you can contact me those ways. Wonderful. I'll be very interested in feedback on the website, because that's another thing to do with marketing and selling yourself as well.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, lots of ways to get in touch with you, lots of reasons to connect with you. Thank you so much for your time today, Debbie.
You're most welcome. It's been a pleasure and a delight. I've wanted to give back to the Happenistas, and this is a way of doing that.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Take care.